Hello Ready Steady Freefrommers, and welcome to another video. This week we are going to be making a coconut flour banana bread. So I've not done very much work with coconut flour, and I really fancied a banana bread with coconut flour because I've been eating an awful lot of ground almonds lately. So banana bread with coconut flour it is this week. So let's get cooking. The recipe today is coming from mygutsy.com. The recipe is available on Pinterest. She just calls it coconut flour banana bread. We're going to start with all the wet ingredients, and I'm going with the metal blade in the food processor to get everything combined. So the first thing I'm going to do is start with the very ripe bananas, and I've got 3 small bananas here, but you're looking 2 to 3 bananas. She's looking for 1.5 cups of bananas in this recipe. Now I have made this before and I did it in one large tin, a loaf tin, but this time I'm going to do it in smaller loaf tins. I'm going for 2 little tins and I've lined them. Got the oven preheating on 300, and that's gas marked to 150 or 130 on a fan, so it's a much lower temperature than we're normally cooking at. So continuing with the wet ingredients, we have 4 eggs. Now I'm going to use ghee here. So she says 6 tablespoons of butter or coconut oil, and I want to use ghee because I like the flavour of ghee. Again, don't put that in hot because it will scramble your eggs. Then we're going to add honey, so 5 tablespoons of raw honey. So it's not very much honey than you would normally have in a cake because the banana carries quite a lot of sweetness with it. So there we have all of the wet ingredients. The recipe does suggest stevia, liquid stevia, but I'm going to omit that and just stick with honey. So I'm just going to blitz this to combine it. Okay, so there we go. You can see it's really liquidy. That's absolutely fine. There's some lumps of banana in there. That's fine too. So now we're going to add the dry ingredients. Now cinnamon is one of the ingredients, and she's looking for anything between a teaspoon and a tablespoon of cinnamon. And because I'm a big cinnamon fan, I'm going for a tablespoon. Then we have a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and we have 1 cup of coconut flour. I have packed this down a little bit, not completely, but I have packed it down a bit. Now each coconut flour acts differently, so bear in mind how the coconut flour that you use acts. And then we've got some baking soda, so we've got 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda in there too. So I'm going to blitz this now to bring it together. Now you can see here, it's a completely different texture to it now. It's bordering solid. And the coconut flour is still yet to absorb more of this moisture. What I hate about coconut flour is sometimes it's really wet, whatever you're eating. And so this is a better consistency for a banana bread. Now to this mixture, I am going to add my own variation on this, which is shredded coconut, unsweetened shredded coconut. I'm going for about 1/3 cup, and I'm going to save some to put on the top as well. And I'm just going to mix that in. Now I like to add this because it brings another texture to the banana bread. And you could add some chopped nuts, some walnuts, some pecans, or some raisins, sultanas. So you could even add chocolate chips if you're a chocolate chip eater. So now we're going to pop it into the trays. So there we have it. I have patted them down. Put a bit of the shredded coconut across the top. It looks nice too. Might even sprinkle a little extra cinnamon, why not? So we're going to pop them in the oven now, and it says in the recipe 1 hour and 15 minutes. Now that's based on 1 large loaf tin that's going in. So I'm going to start checking these from about 30 minutes, 40 minutes onwards to see how they're doing, because obviously I don't want to overbake them. So see you in a bit. Okay, so here we are back and it's cooked. It took 45 minutes to get it to the colour that it is. So there we go. It's a lovely golden brown and it's nice and firm, which you'd expect it to be with the consistency that it went in at. So I've sliced a little chunk off and put a slab of butter on it as well. First of all, I'm going to taste it without the butter. Okay, so it is quite dry. It would be lovely with yogurt. That would be a lovely moistness to it. It's definitely not soggy. I think next time, because I've just changed coconut flour, so it was a risk packing down the coconut flour. Don't pack down the coconut flour if you are worried about it being too dry, and then it should be okay. So I'm going to now eat it with the butter. That's really good. It's actually a really nice texture, and the butter adds that creaminess, silkiness to it. Be lovely with a cuppa, as many of the things that I make would be. Consistency of the shredded coconut in it is really great, so it adds just that extra little bit of crunch to it, a different texture to it, because it's very difficult to describe the texture that coconut flour brings to baked goods, especially if there's no almond flour or ground almonds in there at all, because that does bring a lot of texture. So this is lovely and it's not soggy at all. So I hope you have a go at making it. It's really easy to make. Subscribe, like, comment, share, and I will see you next time in the kitchen.